There we go.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Riffs. Whole gang's here. We have art to show you. Take it away, Squee.
I will not. I'll share it with the world. We've got Ali, three from Ali, actually. She has been drawing insane amounts of art the past few weeks. So we've got Al and Mila doing the epic bard tale of how we murdered people in cold blood. Good times. We look so happy about it. We've got a picture of Rex. I believe that's Rex. Yeah, she needs to get the dent fixed that someone gave her.
Rex.
Not Rex.
Razor.
Razor. I'm sorry.
You got Mass Effect Rex
I know.
and Razor confused.
I
I would
did.
too. That's okay.
We got a picture of Razor. And last but not least, we have a picture of Patrick in his dream. Oh, right. The dream he had when he had the mushrooms.
Yes.
Neat.
Mushroom
So
brain.
really, really well done as always. We love fan art from everyone, so that's that.
Yay.
Woo.
All right. So when we last left off, we were still in our 6-month period thing. And as the time passes, the group has come to a consensus now, and we're going to be doing a little role play of Lee's magic lessons. There's about 4 of those. And in between or after each one, they're going to roll on a random event and see what hits them. It could be minor, it could be major, it could be all sorts of fun little things. So what do you guys want to start off with first? A random event or a magic lesson?
I think it would be probably split up best by doing random event first.
Sure.
I guess.
Okay, yeah. All right. So who wants to... Well, there's 4 random events and 4 views, so you'll each take a turn. So you want to start, Criana? Or did you say
I
you
want all of them, but I'll be the one to start and then finish. So, okay. I roll 1 through 4. You said
No. Roll me a 1d100.
Oh, because I got you. A 7.
A 7.
That number's pretty.
You got a pretty number.
Okay. So this would happen soon after you dealt with Natalie Ling before you head off in whichever direction you do so. This is actually a weather encounter. So in the middle of the night, around 3 o'clock in the morning, you are awoken by the sounds, the heavy sounds of something, actually multiple somethings, crashing upon the top of the behemoth. It is their thick, heavy thumps, almost as if robotic feet were stomping on the top of the behemoth. It is enough to wake all of you up very quickly, if you choose so, unless you have a narcoleptic fit. Looks at Mila.
Shifty eyes.
And so the question is, before I continue on with the discussion, is if you guys want to take any specific action.
I guess, would this be like in the middle of the night?
Oh yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh boy.
Mila would be stomping up and down the hallway
Okay.
in response.
It's crashing. The metallic the metallic noise of this thudding just reverberates from top to bottom.
Al would come out in his PJs and look up and start moving up to the observation deck.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick would be actually garbing himself for most of anything. His initial thought is danger, and he's getting his gear on.
Okay. Tom?
Tom is going to be trying to pull on his gladiator armor as fast as possible.
Okay. Al, when you head up to the observation chamber, you can see through the sunroof huge chunks of what appears to be balls of snow or ice raining down. And when they hit it's not made of glass. It's made of almost like a transparent aluminum that serves as the viewport of the observation deck. But as they hit it, they smash into a bunch of pieces, hurling ice every which way, and it is coming down in droves.
Al's gonna look up and say, "Huh, Patrick."
He is currently getting on his stuff. Is making a bit of a racket, so...
Right, you'll see Al stick his head down the stairs and says, "Patrick, does it rain
You're gonna
snowballs?"
have to yell. It's. Unfortunately, Patrick isn't able to hear you due to the sound of everything. Sound of the crashing and the fact that he's in the back putting on his armor.
Al, are you talking to me?
No. Is there an intercom system like room to room?
Not by you, no.
Okay.
No, it would be by the piloting chair.
Then Al would run down to Patrick's room.
Shit, Mila would stop you. Al,
What? It's
stomp with me. The more noise we make, the more it'll stop the noise from outside.
Al looks at Mila with this expression of like, "What?" for a second, then pats her on the cheek, and then goes to Patrick's room.
Mila shrugs and continues stomping on the ground.
Okay. At this point, I'll say it's fair enough that Patrick and Tom have their armor on. It's just body armor, so they should be good.
Al kind of like slides into Patrick's door and then like leans against it and says, "Oh, hey, Patrick.
What is it?
It's
What is
raining giant snowballs."
He's gonna stop for a moment, look like he's, like, kind of in, like, a thought, and also kind of looks slightly confused, like he just got a new, like, equation to this, going like, what does that mean? And then he's going to just, grab his, not his gun, but his magical gear, and then, could you show me?
Al nods and starts leading him back up to the observation deck.
All right. Led to the observation deck, you see what was described to Al, and it doesn't seem to be letting up. Huge pieces of ice crash along the entire behemoth. Patrick, roll me a D100.
Okay.
The speed in which it's coming and the ferocity in which it is hailing, that can't be good for the hull.
Oh, okay. Okay. We might need to find cover. This is doing a bit.
Al's already running towards the cockpit.
Okay. All right, so you arrive at the cockpit. Mila, Tom, anything specific that you'd like to do?
It's about this time that Tom would make it his way up to the observation deck.
Mm-hmm. Similarly described.
Okay.
I-
You wanted to stop me, Mila?
No, I was going to say Mila would stop Patrick and Tom as they pass by, saying the exact same thing to them. What they do is their own business.
Okay.
But she would say "stop with me," it'd be kind of like a wild-eyed smile that she gets.
Does Patrick mention anything to Tom as he's heading up to the observation deck?
You'd probably see him up there. He's still, like, looking up and pondering exactly,
Oh, okay.
like, what to do. you would see him and he'd go, yeah, this... I've never seen weather like this.
Yeah, this is strange. I want to try something to at least maybe help before we start getting moving, or while we're moving. So for now, I would like to try a fire eruption
Located where?
above the
Okay.
behemoth in a 60
big?
foot by 60 foot by 10 foot deep area.
Mhm.
Now, the behemoth is 20 feet wide and 82 feet long. So I'm
Mhm.
not going to be covering 22 feet.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty. So front half or back half will not be covered.
I think the front half will not be covered.
Okie dokie. So, you start up the fire eruption. Take off your ISP, please.
Mhm.
Now, how can this? Does this need to be anchored on the ground at all, or can it just hover in the sky?
It can hover in the sky, but it will not move with us.
Mhm.
It will be
Okay.
anchored in that space.
Okie dokie. So anchored in that space, a column of flame hits the night air, and it actually illuminates everything significantly. So you can actually see these large gray balls of ice momentarily before they start passing through the torrent of flame. Is this SDC or mega damage fire?
Mega damage.
Okay. So soon, once they pass through the flame, what the bare remnants of the ice balls really just turn into these mushy puddles that coat along the top of the observation deck and soon evaporate within a period of about 10 seconds or so. The front, Al, where you are, gearing up and turning on the behemoth, still rains. Giant balls of hail are still thumping upon the roof in which you stand.
All right. I'm going to first things first. I got to figure out where to go. Can I maybe check the sensors and look for a cave, an outcropping, something I can put the behemoth under?
Roll. The sensors aren't going to help so much with that. Well, wait. Just give me a second. Let me look at the sensor section. Maybe they can. Sensor suite. Oh, yeah. Thermo imager. Oh, yeah. And infrared and ultraviolet optics. And infrared searchlights. Yeah, okay. This thing has a ton of sensors. Roll me your read sensory systems check, please.
Hooray for science vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Succeeded by 25.
Okay. So, casting the infrared searchlights around, although they are sometimes blocked by the image of it hailing, it blocking your view a little bit, you're able to find a relatively thick outcropping of trees. The only problem is that it will require a good piloting check to weave through the trees without knocking them down and damaging the same cover you want to use against the hail.
All right.
So I'll have you do a piloting check for robots in power armor, that percentage piloting check, but make it harder by 30% because of the skill and the weather blocking your way and sight.
All right. So harder by 30%. So we're looking at okay.
So what's your base?
I failed by
there we go.
45.
Oh dear.
Yes.
So the behemoth starts moving towards only about 2,000 or so feet off to the northwest. Unfortunately, Al, you aren't able to weave the behemoth in between the trees. Your vision is just blocked so much that you knock down a bunch of the trees themselves, and you are unable to find any sort of natural cover.
All right, I guess I'm going to keep searching for something else. And I'll get on the intercom and say, attention, everyone. If you'll look out your window, you'll see the world is pissing snow on us. I am currently trying to find a place to set us down. As Patrick says, it could be dangerous. Keep your hands and feet inside at all times and hold on to something.
Al?
Okay.
I'm sure I'm going to hear you from the cockpit.
It's very unlikely due to the severity of the storm.
Mila's now severely confused, and she's going to start putting her ear to the wall during this whole thing.
Oh my god, okay. Tom, Patrick, anything you'd like to do? Al has now navigated far away from your column of flame, and as soon as it goes out as soon as you break line of sight with even a corner of it, Tom, it's gone. You can't concentrate on it anymore.
I will just hunker down and hope for the best.
Okie doke, Patrick?
Patrick is going to go up with Al. See if he can't do anything, be more useful there.
Gotcha.
I have a question. How versatile are our arms?
What do you mean? Like your arms?
The arms of the behemoth.
Oh. Depends on what you want to do.
I want to pick up some of the trees I knocked over and use them as umbrellas.
It's roll me a piloting check.
All right. Same minus 30?
No, I'll put on my own modifier.
All right. Succeeded by 33.
You're able to pick up a few of the tree trunks without problem. And you try to wave them over the behemoth's bulk, but it is not enough to block even 20% of the behemoth, unfortunately.
All right. What would be considered the most structurally weak? Maybe the observation deck?
Yes, probably.
All right. I'll try and focus on that then.
Well, Patrick, since you're up front now, why don't you give me a read sensory system check?
Okay. Check. Up. Read sensory equipment.
And Al would tell him...
I failed by 11.
Okay. You desperately go through all the, the thermo imager, the infrared, the ultraviolet, all the spectrums to try to find some sort of cover. And unfortunately, for the remainder of the 10 minutes of the storm, you're unable to find anything. Once eventually the thud of the hail slows and then finally subsides. And in the morning, when you check to see the hull, you realize that the top and a little bit of the sides of the behemoth have been moderately damaged by the hail. Your actions have prevented some damage, but suffice to say, the left upper arm, its MDC is down to 90, as is the right upper arm. One of the top-mounted searchlights is broken, the left searchlight. Al blocking it along with the observation deck prevented the right searchlight from breaking. The left sensor turret is down to 10 MDC. And the observation deck is down to 200 MDC. It was going to be 150, but burn prevented some damage to it as well. And the main body stays at 395. So, is there anything specific you guys would like to do or role play after the storm?
You have anything, Patrick?
Patrick would probably stay up a little longer to check this. He's actually going to ask if we can park. He's actually going to go outside.
Sure, I would pull over somewhere.
He's going to look for a piece of that ice. A ball of some kind.
Yeah. You can find some fractured bits of the hail. It's about as big. The largest portion that you can find is one that's about twice the size of your fist.
All right.
Frozen ice clumped up together.
He is going to look at it in the morning. He's probably just going to put it in the fridge.
Okay. Don't eat with a sticky note. Don't eat Patrick's hail rock. All right.
I could picture Al up there in the morning in the sun, still in his PJs with a sweep broom, pushing snow off the top of the behemoth. Looking like he's enjoying himself, actually.
But yeah, after that, he's going straight back to bed.
Okay. So I think that'll wrap up this scene just fine. Yeah. Woo. Hail adventures. All right. Magic lesson?
Yes.
Magic lesson.
Okay. Magic lesson. All right. So for this, it will be a couple days after this storm, we'll say. We're probably going to be hitting around beginning of February at this point. Okay. And on a more mild day, when it's not 15 degrees Fahrenheit, when it's a much warmer 40 degrees Fahrenheit, warmer is relative, there's still, the area that you're in, there's still a layer of snow everywhere. But Lee instructs Patrick and Al to come outside with him. He's going to take you by a forest clearing, and he's going to tell you to take Jackie and Mrs. Mams with you.
Okay.
And to meet him out there.
Okay, I'll take
not
Jackie.
too early either. 9 o'clock in the morning and to bring coffee.
I'll take Jackie. You got Miss Mams.
Patrick's got Miss Mams.
Okay. Now, mind you, Tom and Mila can eavesdrop on this as well. They're not excluded from any sort of interactions, but the lessons that Lee is going to be giving is going to be specific to Patrick and Al. So, during this time also, as a bit of a background, you've continued your lessons. Your last lesson specifically was sensing magic within yourself, right? How he told you to quiet your minds, to feel magic, and realizing that it came from yourself. And you continue to exercise that until you can sense that within your own body, that same presence, that same mystical force, right? So, drinking a large mug of coffee, Lee says, there's a reason why we're out here, bundled up with your little critters here. And I'm going to tell you one of the most important things of being a shifter. and that is that not only can you sense magic within ley lines and within yourself, but every single thing that is alive emits or reverberates or contains at least a small bit of mystical energy. And we're going to take some time and you're going to figure that out. So this is what we're going to do. Mrs. Mams, your slug thing, it's alive. Jackie is not. I can feel right now that Mrs. Mams has a bit of potential mystic energy within her, but your robotic squirrel doesn't. Now, there's no way you're going to be able to tell the difference just by looking. So, let's see here.
Patrick bobs Mrs. Mams up and down a bit.
Al covers Jackie's ears.
Lee rolls his eyes. Well, that won't work. I can't hold them. Not that I'd really want to, because there's no way you'd be able to differentiate between my magical energy and their own. And there's no point in you practicing on something like a rock. Huh. He ponders for a little bit and he scratches his half-grown-out beard. All right, fine. I guess we'll just have to improvise. All right, set down your critters here.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I'm going to isolate you two. You, Patrick, go off to the north side of me about 50 feet. Now, left side of me 50 feet. All right? And stay still and get concentrating. Start opening yourself up to it, all right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm assuming you do as instructed, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, Patrick, since you're a little bit more sensitive, I'm going to have you go first. I'm going to approach you, and I'm going to have something in my hands, and you're going to, with your eyes closed, reach out and sense. Do your best to try to sense the magic within me. And if you can do that, see if you can't sense the magic within what I have accompanying me. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay. Keep your eyes closed. You're going to need it to concentrate anyway. And you hear the crunching. You hear a grunt first, and then a few steps your way, crunching through the snow. And you hear Lee's voice closer to you. Okay. Start.
With his eyes still closed, he's still focusing on realizing his own inner magic, just to make sure that he can feel right.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to try to reach out and feel Lee's. I'm not quite sure if he's actually done so before.
Yeah, roll me a D100. Okay. You definitely feel something, and it's pretty powerful. The presence is much stronger than the one that's within yourself, but not nearly as strong as the ley lines you've been practicing on focusing on. If you had to make an educated guess, you would assume that that strong presence was definitely Lee. And you feel something else. Roll me D100. You feel multiple somethings. Not just one or two or three as far as presence goes, but you can feel 60, 70. Very, very small, but they're all around you.
Huh.
Okay, Lee says. So, am I alone here? Or do I have something else in my hand?
I have not quite sure what's in your hand, but I can definitely feel other things.
Then there's a pause for a moment, and he says, "What do you mean? Describe what you feel."
Oh, they're maybe definitely smaller than you, I think.
Okay.
Good. More than 50.
More than 50? You're sure you're not bullshitting me?
I hope not.
Mm-hmm. And with that, he'll say, "All right, open up your eyes."
It's
And
gonna.
as you open up your eyes at the clearing, you see Lee with Jackie in his hand. And he puts her back down in the snow, in which he does a little dance and kicks up some snow. And he goes, "We'll talk about what you got later, but right now, it's Al's turn." You still there, Al? You focused?
Still here.
Good. All right. You hear soft snow crunching as Lee walks towards you. You hear him grunt again. You hear him go, "Ugh." And then it is your turn. He likewise instructs you to focus and reach out and see if you can't sense him, which will be a given. And if you can't sense anything else in or on or around him.
Okay.
Squee, roll me a D100.
All right. Al, just I want to point out, Al, it's almost like he has trouble grasping things for the first time. But once he gets a good grasp on it, it becomes easier and easier for him to do it again. Or to sense it again. Or to focus, I guess. Just flavor.
Sure. Okay, 82. Well, you definitely feel one thing. You definitely feel something beyond yourself. Without a question. If you had to guess, it's just Lee standing there.
All right. I would tell him, I sense you, I think.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
No.
All right. Open up your eyes. Come meet me. And when you open up your eyes, you see him with a scrunched up face holding Mrs. Mams in his hand as you head over to the as you head back towards the little meeting teaching spot. And Lee says, "All right. First more of that coffee." Well, you both got me. That's good. Doesn't mean it's a complete waste of time. I'm a magic user, and you'll soon find out that being able to sense other magic users is like sensing the difference between a candle and a light bulb. All right? One definitely burns brighter than the other. Now, let's start with the good. Patrick, you were too sensitive, in a sense. It's good, though, in a way. If what you're telling me is correct, and you have no reason to lie, you sensed me, and you said 50 or 60 other things. Were they as bright as me, or were they was the feeling as strong as me, or was it lesser?
It should have been lesser if I.
No, not should have been. Was it or was it not? Do you remember?
I guess as a player, I'm not sure if I got that information.
I told you. I told it was lesser.
Okay. It was. Yes, it was lesser.
Okay. Well, that means you're picking up the trees around you. That's good, though. Trees are living things, and they don't have much energy in them, but it's something. Al, on the flip side, you weren't sensitive enough. You didn't, for lack of a better word, sense the magical presence of a lesser creature or a less bright creature in my hands, and you're going to need a lot more work, too. So we're going to have to be doing this a few more times than I thought, but hey, you're learning, I guess, right? So, let's try it again. And Lee will repeat the process, but I won't for the sake of this role play.
Hmm.
But, Al, why don't you roll me another D100?
All right. 90.
You try a few more times, and each time when you're tested, you fail. And Lee starts to get more and more frustrated and exasperated with you. You hear him make, what probably sets it off the most is, how can I describe his agitation? It starts with, like, pursed lips and, like, careful words of, okay, keep trying, and then soon it escalates into, you're not concentrating nearly as much, or you're not listening to me. What makes this worse is that Lee, at this point, isn't offering any more instruction. He's not telling you how to do things differently. You're repeating, you're doing the exact same thing over again because you haven't been told anything differently. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Until it gets to a point... Well, actually, I'll let you have a moment of interaction. Do you want to say or do anything at this point?
No, Al
Or do you
would
want
be very patient because
Yeah.
he's not quite sure if, like, he might have suspicions of, like, why isn't Lee helping with this? But also he knows that maybe Lee shouldn't be helping with this, so he's being more patient than anything.
Unfortunately, your patience does not transfer that into Lee's until he quickly ends the session by blowing up at you and saying that if you had an ounce of sensitivity, an ounce of talent that Patrick had, he wouldn't be freezing his ass out here. And with that, he storms into the behemoth and locks himself up for like a good half of the day.
All right, Al's going to just stay out there and keep trying to sense things.
Okay.
Patrick would probably come up to him and go.
Oh, to Al, or?
Yeah, to Al.
Okay.
Go. Well, you can sense things. Maybe he's as similar to his words, too bright. Why don't you try it with me, and I'll find other things.
Al will nod, and he'll say, it's okay. It's possible I don't have the same talent you do, but in my experience, practice anything enough, you'll get it. Sure, let's try that.
Right.
Yeah, Romy needs another D100. Yeah. It takes some time. But if you both go with it, in the end, you definitely sense something. You finally get the hang of sensing more than one thing at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, there you go.
All right, Al would actually, he'd be happy. He'd share it with Patrick, like, "Hi, I got it, yay!" But he's not going to say anything about it to Lee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the next lesson, I think we'll do the next scene, be a little random event, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just to color things a little bit, it's another week and a half before you even start another lesson. And Lee is like a grumpy bear the entire time. He is not fun to be around. He is quick, and this interaction is with everybody on the behemoth. He's quick to anger. He's quick to get frustrated. He's quick to make a snide remark, and he spends a lot of time by himself.
Charming.
What'd you say?
I said charming.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Fantastic.
Out of curiosity, how long has it been since we've known that he's had a drink?
3 months,
Okay.
maybe.
Alrighty.
For the record, for that little magic session that they did, when Al was outside of the behemoth in the cold for a long time, depending on how long it is, if it's like more than an hour, Tom will go outside and offer to warm him up.
Hey-o.
Like make a fire,
Sure.
sir.
I know.
Oh.
I know.
You
I
know,
just assumed.
I can't say hey-ho.
No. How dare you?
Believe it or not, as long as Al doesn't get to, and let me know if that does become the case, GM, as long as Al doesn't get to a point where the cold is getting dangerous, he'll actually politely decline and say it helps him feel like an elf.
Tom will
Charming.
shake his goddamn head and go back to the behemoth.
I think at some point, and maybe this doesn't help with your lessons at all, Mila would come outside and start building a snowman and throwing snowballs at Patrick and Al while they're trying to focus.
Oh, hold up a second.
Oh?
Hold up a second. Yeah, when he storms out, he smashes your snowman. Lee.
Oh.
He snaps at you and he says you're not helping at all.
Okay. Patrick, can we retroactive a little bit? We do that after we help her rebuild the snowman?
I, at the very least, will
guess.
Okay, wait. So Mila's crying. Al's going to roll up a snowball, put it in Mila's hand, stand her up, and then peg her with another snowball and take off running.
What? Al, get back here! Mila would start chasing him and chucking a snowball, and then she would go down and start building another snowball, but then it gets a little too big, to the point where it's super huge, and she lifts it up and throws it at him.
Nice.
Can I try and throw a snowball at her as she tries to throw it?
A simultaneous attack?
Well, more like I want to try and make her drop it.
Okay, well, you know what? You guys are going to roll an initiative challenge. So
Oh.
roll 1d20 and add your initiative modifier, if any. No,
Oh!
Mila beats you right in the face.
Yep. Well, face, chest, waist.
Sorry, was there anything else you guys wanted to play around with, or we good to wrap this little scene up?
I think we're good to wrap it up.
Okay.
Random encounter.
All right. So, yeah, who's next? Unless Criana wants to literally roll all of them.
No, I don't have to. But maybe it might be a good idea if someone damn it! I was about to get the 100. Damn it.
Too bad.
Tom beat you to it. 79. What we got for 79? Oh, okay. Give me a moment. I have to get a picture. Wait, did I upload it already? If not, I didn't. Okay. This is another minor encounter, but hey, whatever. They're all, I shouldn't say major or minor. They're just encounters. Damn it, Inferno, you dork. Let's go back. Let's go leave Greencastle and go back here and give it a moment while I upload a picture real quick. And I'll go into the GM layer. Where is it? Where are you? Picture.
Picture.
Talk amongst yourselves.
You know, it's funny. Like when we need to stop talking, we won't shut the fuck up about the stupidest things. But when we
I
need to
know.
actually like talk and fill the silence, we're all just like,
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
How do we
wanna,
talk
like,
in front
talk
of
over
people?
anybody. Oh,
So
jeez.
So recently, I found out that a Tommy gun is actually called a Thompson
get
submachine
out of
gun.
here.
It was a new
Get
piece
out.
of information I got just the other day.
Wow, Piff, how did you learn this fact?
Well, I was looking up lethal weaponry to come to your house and kill you.
I love that movie, except for the part where I die.
You know, it's also called a Chicago typewriter.
Oh, what a caution. Squee, what have you learned?
Jesus.
Squee is not at his computer.
Son of a bitch.
He's running because he
Yeah,
knows.
he's running. He's already gone.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have a friend named Thompson.
Do
I have
you?
a character named Tom.
Son.
Son?
Son?
We'll find out, like, at the end of this whole thing that his real name was Thompson. He's like, you guys just never asked for my full name.
What did I do with
Ack.
this? Oh man, talk about unprofessional. I had this really cool. Well, I'll just have to find it.
Wait a
again.
second. Did
That's
we
fine.
start being professional somewhere?
Yeah,
Yeah,
somewhere.
we've always been professionals.
Back in like episode 142. Durr.
At the 12-minute point exactly.
Oh,
Let's go
I
back.
found it.
Yeah.
Good. So instead of copying pasting, I'll put a link when it's applicable. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready. So this will be about a few weeks after the hail encounter or so. Once again, you're in the wilderness. And at this point, I would like everyone to roll me a D100, please. Okay. So it could, well, I'm going to just say for the sake of the narrative, it's when you guys have a bit of an excursion outside of the behemoth, all right? Perhaps just scouting around or just trying to get out of the tin can or having another snowball fight. Although at this point it has gotten a little bit milder. The heaviest and deepest of snows has lightened up considerably. And in fact, on some sunny days, there's been a little bit of a melt. With this melt, Al, you actually stumble upon a very, very strange collection of rocks. There seems to be about 10 of them and all. And as the picture shows, it seems to be almost made of, it's definitely stone, but it's almost like this wormy
Ugh.
material with these red pocks scattered amongst it. And there's a clutch of about 10 of the darn things off to far off to the side of the road.
Huh.
Hmm.
Al's
Gross.
going to poke it with a stick.
It It says "ow."
What?
Fucking idiot. I really should stop that.
Al throws the stick and says, "Ah, patient."
No. Yeah, made one.
Yeah, he's doctor
Anyway,
and injurer.
no. You hit it with the stick, and it's very solid underneath. It doesn't, and the rock moves a little bit in the dirt and the snow.
All right, he'll shrug, toss the stick away, and then he'll probably mention it to Patrick, but he won't have much more interest in it than that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is it like a clump of worms or?
Oh, it's a rock.
More like a rock.
Oh no! Oh, you're role playing.
I'm role playing. Excuse me.
Okay. God.
Al will say more like a rock that looks like a clump of worms.
Where is it?
Al would show him.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ta-da! Right there.
He'd say, "I poked it with a stick.
You did what?
Nothing happened."
Does look odd. Sure, it's a rock.
No.
All right then. I think first inkling might be of anything botany-like. Botany. Plant.
Okay. I'll roll it.
All right. Roll check that. Got it. Succeed by 46.
Well, although maybe the red things on it could have been flowers sprouting from the rock, a closer inspection and a quick look at your own knowledge base, and you realize that. Nope. Definitely not flora.
And he poked it and didn't do anything?
Well, that's what he said.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you role playing at that point?
Yes.
Al would say, "Yeah," and he'll take a stick and he'll poke it again. And he'll say,
It's rock light.
You want us to pack it up so you can science it?"
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Who goes to pick up the rock?
Well, I guess Al would. If we're outside, he's probably wearing some sort of protection. So yeah, he'll go to pick it up.
Okay. You'll need to specify some form of protection. Body armor?
Yeah, the power armor.
Okay. You go to pick up the rock with your power armor, and then you realize that you can't pick it up. It is stuck on the ground, like it was attached to it. And might I add, the robotic strength of your power armor has allowed you to pick up vehicles.
Right.
And you can't pick up this gosh darn rock. You can't pick up any of the rocks.
Al's gonna try and pick it up, and he's gonna stop for a second, say, "Hang on, just 1 second," and then like grab it with both hands. And then after a while, he's gonna be like, "Huh? Yeah. We might need another plan."
So there's like 9 of these in a circle or something like
10.
that?
No,
10.
not in a circle, just clumped up together.
Okay. Well, it's either just really heavy, hard to move, or some sort of... Oh man, is it magic? I'm just gonna go look if it's magical. see if he can't find any sort of magic.
Al's going to try and sense a magical light within it.
Roll D100, please. You're really, really sure that the rocks aren't magic. You can't sense any magic energy within them, but you can sense the magic energy of the hibernating shrubs and the trees around you.
Al's gonna be like really happy and then be like, Patrick, be careful. I sense shrubs all around us. He'll say this while laughing, much like I just did. But I don't sense any magic from that thing.
Patrick is actually going to look a little worried.
Wait, hold up a second. I should make it very clear. There's a difference between sensing magic and sensing whether that has magic energy. All right?
Oh, okay.
Something could, like your magic weapon, like Mila's hammer or Patrick's armor, it doesn't have any residual PPE in it, but it's still magical, right? That's why there's a difference between sensing PPE, potential psychic energy, and sensing magic, which is a spell. All right?
No, it's important to point that out. I think Al would probably have said the same thing simply because
that's fine.
Informal jargon.
You
but
play
yes,
in
it's
character.
good to know that there is.
But I need
certainly
to
a
let
difference.
you, the player, know. Need to
you.
let you know so you don't use that ability to sense magic and then be angry when you can't find anything.
Got it.
All right.
Anywho,
I'm going to check my lore of anything to do with worm rocks.
uh-huh. Yeah, no. You have no clue.
Huh. Well,
It is clearly alien. Clearly not of this earth. You know that much.
Well, if you can't pick it up... well, alright. I have one more idea. And he's going to take a bit of time to come back. But he's going to lug his laser cutter mining equipment all the way back to this rock.
Okay. What's your physical strength?
It's 9.
Yeah, that's a really, really heavy case. I think you're going to need someone to help you out with that.
Oh, sure, Al would help him out.
Or I was thinking maybe Tom or Mila to get them into the scene if they
Al's
want.
going to sit there and keep poking it with the stick.
Well,
I'm going to ask Mila to help me.
Okay.
At the
And Tom?
time when you... Oh, I was going to say Tom and Mila should be doing something while they're dealing with the worm rock.
I have a quick question for the DM.
Mm-hmm.
So this is over the course of a few days that since the last hailstorm thing, right?
Yes. Yep.
Would it be fair to say that after I got enough ISP, I was able to repair the armor?
Oh, yes, definitely. 100%.
Okay. Then I will be wearing the armor and testing it out and talking to Mila.
Yes.
That's what I will be doing.
Mila will be coloring and just blabbing to Tom.
You hear a few...
And in comes Patrick. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You hear a few grunts from the storage room. You see Patrick lean out the side door, yelling down the hallway, Mila, could you help me out with this?
Mila lets out a little sigh, just calmly puts her Criana on the ground, pushes herself up, gives Tom a look, and pokes her head out the door. What?
This equipment's a bit heavy.
Why?
Could you help me move it?
Why do you need to move your... Yeah, I can, but why do you need to move your equipment? Here, move over. Let me help you.
Thank you. So, Al found a weird rock, and I'm currently trying to use this to maybe dig it up, or maybe take a piece of it. It's, something.
A rock.
But it's a really neat looking rock, and he can't pick it up with his power armor either.
Okay, listen, Patrick. I know some pretty neat looking rocks.
Yeah.
What makes this one neat?
It looks weird. He can't pick it up. I gotta know what it is.
Okay. Hey, Tom, you want to go look at a weird looking rock?
Oh, sure, I
Is it
guess.
that way? It sounds stupid. It sounds like who came up with this encounter? You come across a rock.
And you can't pick it up. Fascinating. All right.
Fuck you. Fuck all of you. You'll
DM?
see. I'll show you.
DM,
We all die.
I would like to follow them in the air. I would like to use fly like an eagle.
Okay.
Wait.
Done.
So this brings the question: can the DM actually make a rock that he can't lift?
Yep. I can.
Pretty easy, actually.
And then I left it.
Write it down on a piece of paper and like done. See?
Anywho.